Welcome to Father Fish and the Natural Aquarium.
Hi there. Well, I made it. I fell asleep. Fell asleep. Let's see. Hello. Is anybody still here? Yeah, a bunch of people still here. Goodness, you guys are wonderful. Thank you for waiting for me. I did the same thing last week, I think. Fell asleep. I fell asleep. Who else here? There's a bunch of people here. Squirt's here. Squirt. Kim Minnie. Jeff Fairchild. Christian. Oh, who else? Christian, Squirt. Same people talking to each other. Lloyd Goodyear. Hey, Lloyd. And Greg, the guppy guy, is here. Hey, Greg. Joe O. That's it. Hi, everybody. Oh, glory. Well, I'm kind of in a rush. I guess you guys are not football fans. What time's the game start? Starts right now, doesn't it? Like 6 o'clock? Is it underway? It is cold here. I'm wearing a bathrobe. I'm so cold. It's just about down to zero. Oh, glory. Well, let's see. I do have something in mind I want to talk about tonight. I had a kind of a breakthrough yesterday. Went to bed early and couldn't go to sleep because I was thinking. Thinking always keeps me awake. And I finally came to a place where I developed a clear vision of where to go with all of this. You know, the struggle for the last 6 months or so has been, what do we do now? And I haven't had a clear answer to that, but I think I do now. And I think what we do is we put everything together. And by everything, I mean the store, the Discord, the Patreon, the YouTube, the live streams. We're starting a club, a fish club, put all of that together in one package, set it up as a destination like the Father Fish World or the natural aquarium world, and promote it as a membership organization, which will give you access to all of that. Plus, it'll give you a discount on the store, and access to to all of the videos and live streams and all of that stuff. In addition to the book that's coming out, and being able to turn the book into a video book and put that online with access to it on a chapter by chapter or topical kind of a basis. So it becomes an audio resource, a video audio resource, not just audio, but video. So it means not just doing the book with pictures, but the book with videos. Doing the book as a video presentation. which sounds to me like it's a monumental job, but I think we could do it with AI, and make it something pretty effective that could actually get it done in a reasonable amount of time. Anyway, that's what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about how to do all that. And I talked to Sidious about it last night, and we decided that we really need to discuss this openly. We need to make it a conversation among all of us, uh, in order to get it fleshed out, and in order to get a clear sense of direction and the best ideas as to how to go about this and what it is we really want to try to achieve. But the idea would be to make it something vastly more substantial. Um, Another thing I realized today is that one of the things I wanted to do with some of the products, particularly the supplement, is make this available wholesale so that it can be marketed through fish stores, including through chain stores. And there are some other products as well, not just the supplement. There's some other things we're doing that we could do the same thing with. So anyway, that's what I'm thinking about these days, rather than simply laying down and dying and letting YouTube cover us over with its ignominy, uh, using YouTube rather than allowing YouTube to use us. And that would mean that we could make videos, post videos, um, but not let them post them as private, and private on YouTube, but public on like on Patreon. So that you could with a membership you get to see all the videos, and we still get the benefit of the YouTube payment plan, which is dropping precipitously. Anyway, so that's what I'm thinking about. So what do you think? What does this make any sense to you? William, can I cut the leaves of my two Amazon swords because they're grown to the top? It blocks the light of my other solar plants. What do I do? Well, it's an interesting problem. What that Amazon really wants to do is grow out of the tank. See, that's the other thing you could do, is simply let it emerge from the water and grow as a bog plant. That's what most of the swords are. They're actually bog plants. It's you think you can certainly cut back leaves. You certainly can do that. It's not going to hurt the plant to do that. But you also might consider going in the other direction and letting the plant have the aquarium. Let it take over the aquarium. I have a customer who got a Braziliensis sword from us, which gets huge, and it has taken over his tank. It's grown up out of the tank. It's a foot up out of the tank. It's growing. It's growing runners with babies on it. He brings them in periodically. It's gone absolute bonkers. And he keeps his trim to some extent, but it's the dominant plant in the tank. And I guess they're a plant that gets very big. Not all of them do. The rose doesn't. They're smaller swords. Um, the other thing you could do is you could treat it as a house plant, repot it repot it in a bucket and let it grow out. Just let it go. So you got some interesting options there. So Scort says, so you're thinking about having all your videos behind the paywall? Well, I'm thinking about having everything uh, available for members, and then creating benefits like a discount, like a store discount, and exclusive access to um, a much wider range of resources than is currently the case. We could do some videos as public that would point to and promote the center, but it would be a massive center for natural aquarium. Now, another consideration would be to invite other developers, other YouTubers, perhaps, or other videographers to set up shop in that at that site or at that center. So it would be like a fish fam YouTube, you know, but much expanded beyond that. I don't know. That's why I really want to open it up so we can talk through this and see if there is some legitimate way we can do this that will significantly expand our influence. That's really the idea. Would be to find ways to significantly expand the influence of what we're doing promoting a natural aquarium. Great to see you, says Moldy Pickle. Moldy Pickle picked up two 125s that are drilled. Wow. I do have some videos on some early videos from the shop. I did a number of different kinds of sumps. I don't know if they're set up that way though. I have to try to find them. There are a couple of videos where I talk about a series of sumps that I created. Generally, when I did sumps, I would do the sump as in effect multiple aquariums. Although my entire shop in Florida was multiple sump systems, which involved large, like 200-gallon tubs. So I was moving water out of banks of tanks into a central tub, and then filtering it back or pumping it back up, running it through a filter in those large tanks. Now, in truth, the filter, I did put bags on the output as the water went into the tanks, filter bags, which would clean routinely. But beyond that, the filtration was consistently deep substrate. So that's really how I did it. It did allow it. It allowed me to do water changes much more easily because it was in a pretty active shop and everything was open. I got a lot of evaporation, so I was replenishing water pretty consistently, and then periodically I'd lose water. there would be a leak in a pipe system or an overflow, which would be substantial enough that I had to replace significant amount of water. So I was doing water changes fairly regularly as well. It was not a system that I would recommend for a home. It worked well there because it was a warehouse with a concrete floor, and when it got flooded, I could I could broom the water outdoors. Let's see. Well, scored saying 90% of the people aren't going to pay or won't. Um, yeah, I know that's really true. The reality is, if we're going to maintain the kind of organization that we've developed and continue to develop it, we need we need a decent source of income, and YouTube ain't it. Yeah, YouTube income has dropped 500%. It's cut in half over the last 6 to 8 months. It's dropped from, no, I'll just give you the numbers. It's dropped from 5,000 a month to 1,500 a month. So I can't depend on it to be able to what support what we're doing. And it frankly would not take much at $4 a month to replace that. I think we could replace it in month two, if not month one. So I'm really less worried about that. The reality is that there are any number of sites that are paid sites. And sure, there are a lot of people who won't pay to join a site, but there are also a lot of people who will pay to join a site. That doesn't mean we can't do some stuff free. We certainly would need to in order to be able to reach new people. But if that's 10% of 100% of what we do, then that 10%, for those people who are excited about it and want more, we can provide more. So that would be the idea. There would certainly be a public a public window, or a public outlet, but that would be there for the purpose of reaching those people who are excited about what we're doing, want to participate, want more, and provide an opportunity for them to get more, a whole lot more. Um, the club, for example, we're going to be starting a fish club at the store. It'll be a store club. It'll be a father fish club. And we'll be doing auctions, and we can do the auctions through our store, which means we can do the auctions online. So we can have a monthly auction, online auction, as a function of all of this. I think there are a lot of things we can do, a lot of things we are doing. There are an amazing amount of things we're already doing, but we're doing them with less and less resources, and that's a real serious problem because it means ultimately we have to shut down. Ultimately, we're just going to have to give it up and walk away. So, what's the alternative to that? The alternative is to find ways to be able to support ourselves. Now, sure, 90% of the people who find father fish are not going to join. They're not going to want to. So what? That's fine. Not trying to get 100% of everybody. We don't have 100% now. YouTube is doing less and less to promote us. Where they used to put out 100,000 uh, uh, what are they called? Uh, 100,000 suggestions within the first few days of a new video. And now they're putting out about 5,000. So they're doing less and less for us, which means that we can't get out of YouTube what we were getting out of YouTube. It's not just us, it's the entire fish family. In fact, it's not just the fish family, it's all of the niche servers. There are always a few people who do well. They're not doing as well as they used to do, but they're doing well enough, and they're doing it without much in the way of an organization, and that's the real difference. We're trying to do a lot of different things. We're trying to do a Discord. We're doing a store, and that store is online, so it needs to it needs to generate sales, and it involves staff to be able to package all the plants and ship them out, or whatever else we're doing. So I'm looking for a way to sustain and to grow, not looking for a way to do the opposite, to restrict and confine, looking for a way to sustain and grow. Aquatic News Network notices as well been a huge drop in aquatic content and a rise more in AI content. I think that bubble, I doubt it. I frankly doubt it. AI is getting better and better to the point where it's going to be a real issue for all creators, because AI is immensely creative. With case, I think it's incredible. That's AI. Is that remarkable or what? There are things we can do. We're using AI for thumbnails now, and they're wonderful. They're so much better than anything we've ever done. Um, by the way, the music, like the one you saw at the beginning here, how to play that again. This is not AI. At least not the music. The music is not AI. The music is custom music. Let's see. We'll play this again real quick, because it's really, what am I looking for? Here we go. Watch this.
Welcome to Father Fish and the Natural Aquarium.
Now, that's powerful stuff. That's really exciting. That's the video is AI. The audio is custom. Well, I was thinking about some of the music. Oh yeah, we just did our old song. One of the old songs, just did it as a video. Really cool. You can watch it. It's just come up. I don't have it here. I don't know if I can play it. Let me see if I can. Let me see if I can get it. I know I can. Let's see. Dooby doo. Where is it? Well, that's interesting. Huh. That's interesting. The live stream is coming up. Huh. Well, this is peculiar. I'm looking at my YouTube channel, and it's got the live stream right at the top, as opposed to the intro. It's replaced the intro with a live stream. I don't know if I did that. I won't know until it's over. Well, anyway, let me get back to comments. Oh, when an entire video is done with AI, including the character, it's noticeable. Well, I agree. I agree, and I've not done that. Uh, Squirt says, I'll Joe whatever you decide." Well, that's the spirit, and they were, there are 5,000 other people who'll do the same thing, and which is certainly enough to be able to do what we need to do, and to make it something really, really phenomenal. And that's what I have in mind to do, to be able to do a whole lot more, to be able to impact in a much stronger way, and to kind of raise the level of the whole thing. Right now, we're down just messing around with a bunch of other people, and I want to be able to stand out. I think we've got something that's sufficiently substantial and significant to be able to do that, um, and to be able to have a greater impact. Yeah, well, the only way to make it with YouTube is side money, frankly. I mean, that's what the store was done for the purpose of being able to support. We did the store in order to support the people we had on board, making videos and doing the Discord server, doing the Fatherfish Shoal. And of course, once we did that, then we had to hire people to be able to run the store, because that's enormously time consuming. I mean, that's right now three full-time jobs to do that. So let's see. Randy agrees. Thank you, Randy. Let's see. What else is here? Well, YouTube's gotten too big. William's talking about the plants that he got from us. Yeah, the plants do really well. Let's see what else is here. You ever want to now, Richard? What are you talking about? Who says Lane and Merriweather? I'm doing pretty well, actually. Um, I kind of had uh, a bit of an insight earlier. I think one of the things that happens when people finally pass on is that they just run out of gas, and I ain't out of gas yet. I've still got stuff that's driving me forward. So long as I'm driving forward, I'm not running out of gas, and I ain't running out of gas. Although the struggle recently has been to try to figure out how to move forward, because so much of what I'm doing, I've kind of done it all. I've said it all. What I need to do now is I need to expand on that, and one of the ways to expand on it is to get more commercially involved in producing our substrate and make it available as a wholesale product, as a wholesale item. Angelic will follow wherever you are. Well, God bless you. God bless you. I'm not sure if Brenda told you, but I got engaged, getting married this April. No, I did not know. Well, that's exciting. That's wonderful. I'm so happy to hear it. No, Brenda she didn't talk to me. Should tell you all the good stuff. So I'm very excited for you, Scott. That's wonderful. Congratulations. Um, on another note, I had a family come into the shop on Friday. Young man that was having his 10th birthday, and he decided he wanted a fish tank. He's been following us on YouTube for a little while and was very excited to be there. Got to talking with his father, who's the pastor of a local church, a Bible church. So I visited them Sunday, and it was wonderful. Had just a great time. Met some people who are old fish people, um, who have been pretty good fish keepers over the years, and other folks who were just happy to meet me, and I was happy to meet them as well. And it's a very lively, engaging, with a lot of young families, and not a huge church. It's not like 500 people attending. There were about 150, maybe 200, which is a really nice sized church. So I was excited about that. And I will go back and get to know them a little better. That's the way. Aquatic News Network. Feed AI what your mission statement is for your channel and purpose. Ask in a few days to move your channel. Yeah, that's a good idea. Use AI as a resource for growing. Excuse me, I'm having problems with my fixtures here. There, that wasn't. It was obvious, but not visible. Yeah, glory. It's terrible getting to be old. Kim and Angel and Father Fish, you bet. That's exciting stuff. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So real excited about that. Oh, what else? What else? I think I got it all. I think I got it all. There's is that Russian? I think it's Russian. I can't tell. I can't read this script. I don't know what it is. Yarfurido. Yarfurido. That's a curious one. And Aquatic News Network says, howdy, Earthlings. Um, anyway, so what I decided to do was use this evening, just stay on for a little while because the football game. So I had most everybody's off watching that. We're at about half we normally are. Uh, let's see. Joe says, Lou, you're the best. Hearing how hard this is or how expensive, I mean, hurts my heart. You're one of the nicest, most sincere men I know. Don't want this to be hard on you. It's not, well, hard. I'm doing what I love doing. It's a struggle, um, and I guess it's difficult. I'm not I'm not overwhelmed by it. I'm challenged by it. I'm excited about what we're doing, and basically just looking for a way to do it so that what would be nice would be to turn a profit. Now I'm a nonprofit kind of guy. I mean, I tend to pump every resource I've got into what I'm doing. And I've always done that. That's kind of been the way I live my life. My father did that before me. He was always very careful about money, but he didn't die with a big bank account. He had some property, but it was property that came to him through family. Um, but he had an unbelievable ministry. It was just an astounding ministry. And when he died, it hit a lot of people really really hard. And he had advanced his ministry to the point where he was moving into some new areas that I couldn't move into. They required a level of expertise I didn't have, so I could not continue that. But anyway, yeah, I've never been profit motivated. I've always been kind of nonprofit, which means every penny I get goes into what I'm committed to, and that's kind of the way I've always been. And I don't mind doing that. It would be nice to have a better house to live in, but I've got a decent car, and I'm in a little cottage here that actually suits me better than I would like to admit. It's hard to fall down. It's so small. I can't take a step without my hand being on a piece of furniture or the wall or whatever. So that helps keep me vertical. And I'm by myself, so it's really all I need. In spite of the fact I'd like to have something really quite nice, what I have is actually nice. It's not bad at all. And I'm near my brother, and it's not costing a huge amount of money to be here. I've got family nearby. I'm within a 2-minute drive of my shop. So, and I just went blank. And now I'm back. Cinnamon's here. Hey, Cinnamon. Nice to see you. And Billy Bob. Thank you, Billy Bob. Oh, let's see. Randy says got some plans from you in the past that came in bad shape. I always uh, guarantee healthy delivery. So yeah, just get hold of me, Randy. I'm happy to replace whatever you got. Uh, I can't be responsible. Well, I shouldn't say that. I can't control what um, what the shipper does once they get a hold of our product, and I can't control the weather. And sometimes that's why we're not using the postal service anymore, because it was running 10-15% replacement. It just got to be ridiculous. We're with UPS now, and it's better. It costs a little bit more, but we're getting delivery pretty consistently in 2 days for our plants. And when it's not that, they'll cover the law. They don't cover the loss, but they do cover the shipping, so we can reship to you and be able to replace the plants. Let's see. Yeah, but do get hold of me, Randy. Send me an email, and we'll get you. If you got your order number, we can simply replace that. It's not a problem at all. I do that routinely for everybody. If plants come in and they're not in good shape, then I simply send out new plants. I usually ask to help cover the cost of shipping because the boxes are expensive and all that. Angel, hello, hello. Just came from the ACM club meeting. Yeah, I really want to go to club meetings. For me, it's a 3-hour drive to get to a club meeting. I think that's part of the reason I'm going to start a club, so I can have the opportunity to. The clubs are just wonderful. I love them. Met a man today who was active in Potomac Valley for years, the Potomac Valley Club, which I was active in golly day, 80 years, no, not that long ago, 60 years ago, 40, see, about 60 years ago, I was active in Potomac Valley, and he was as well. Um, so I think we're gonna have a good friendship there. I'm excited. This is a fellow I met at church today. He was also active as a volunteer at the National Aquarium in Baltimore, which of course I helped found. So that was another kind of hookup. Let's see. Hello, Father Fish. Alex Keebler. Not actually going to do it, but what's your opinion on two male bettas in one tank, heavily planted? I've done it. If you grow them up together, very often they will never fight. I have at least two tanks right now with schools of bettas in them that have grown up together. They're adults now, and they're multiple males in those tanks. And I never get a nip fin. It's strange. It just doesn't happen. I also don't get breeding, which is interesting. I think they require a safe, quiet place off by themselves to be able to do that. Now, we're setting up tanks with bettas now to do that, where I have a male in a tank and then introduce females. And we now are on our second spawn. So that Brenda's doing that, and she's beside herself. She's figured out how to do it, and we've got some frozen food, frozen what is it? Um, copepods, frozen copepods, and we're hatching out brine shrimp, and we've got microworm culture that's going real well. So we've got good food for our tiny baby fish, and we're gonna start doing egg catchers and see if we can't get some other kinds of fish going as well. So we're going to start doing some serious spawning. Something I've wanted to do. We've got all these vats with plants in them, and they're perfect for growing out fish. And there's just no reason not to do it. It's just a matter of figuring out how to do it to make it happen. We've been here 43 minutes already. That can't be. That can't be. Yeah, it is too. Wow. Amazing how time flies. Don't forget to hit the like button. What's been my favorite fish to own? Probably the Uaru, actually. That or the Rams. Um, I haven't been able to get Rams going recently, not in the shop, but I've got to get that set up so I can do it. And the pistos, the dwarf cichlids. I like all of the dwarf cichlids real well. I've got some serviceps I just got that I'm growing out, and some what are they? Oh, some Africans, some of the new riverine Africans that I'm real excited about. I think those are really my favorites. I think the dwarf cichlids. I really like the dwarf cichlids. They tend to be colorful. They tend to be very pretty. Crevensis. There's a whole family of just dozens and dozens of different species of crevensis of that family of fish. I think that I like those real well. The waru, I finally got. They spawn all the time, but I got finally one batch to hatch, and we've got about 71-inch babies now, so they're big enough to start marketing. And that's a wonderful fish. It's a very gentle fish. The only problem with them is they will eat every plant you put in the tank, with the exception of floaters. They don't eat floaters, which blows my mind. I mean, I'm able to get really nice floaters going in those tanks. Can't keep any other plants alive with them because they just decimate them. Thinking of doing a 20-gallon, says Adam. Want to keep female betta. Don't know how many would be good for a 20. As many as you want. They're an air breather. It doesn't matter how many you have. You could have 100 female bettas in a 20-gallon tank, and they would do fine. I wouldn't do that many, but you could. You do as many as you want. Depends how you have it set up. And you can put a male or two in with them. If you've got a big harem of females, you can. That's a way to do multiple males because the males are not they're not distracted by a single female and fighting over a single female. There's no need no need to fight over anyone when there are more than enough to choose from, I guess. Pair of gold gardener eye, nice. Two females for my blue galaris, nice. Oh, cinnamon, wow. Cinnamon, oh, she got these at the auction, I bet. Most non-aggressive barb, the green barb is totally non-aggressive. There's also an iridescent, kind of a neon green barb. They're not like they're a tiger, but they're not aggressive like a tiger barb. And they do really well. Do I have a cave for my crevensis? No. What I usually do with the crevensis is put a flat stone down, and they dig under it. They tunnel into it. They lay their eggs on the roof of a cave. So they actually make a cave under that rock and lay their eggs upside down. So if you put a cave in, it needs to be low enough that they can get to the roof of it because they're not going to lay their eggs on the bottom. They're going to lay them on the top. So you need to have a top. And the easiest way to do that is with a flat rock or a couple of small rocks to make a low, shallow cave. Red chin pancake killies. I guess, Lord. Well, there's so many killies that are just wonderful. I've had killies off and on. I've never really been set up to do killies. I've always wanted to because they're just such amazing creatures. One of these days soon, I'm going to start doing killies seriously. I have access to there's a killie club nearby within a few hours drive with some serious killie people. So I'm going to start doing that. I really want to do it. You have to have dedicated tanks with killies. That's the only issue, and I currently don't have that. So I need to be able to set up a series of small tanks to be able to do killies properly. But I found some at Best Buy that are essentially 3-gallon bins. They're clear plastic, rigid bins that I've got half a dozen of them set up with bettas and other things. And I can do, they're fairly cheap. They're like $6-7 a piece. So I can do a row of those and be able to do things like killies in them. Just one more little project to get into. But yeah, I would love to do killies. Similis, she got Similis. Cinnamon makes me crazy. She is doing what advanced hobbyists. She's been at this 2 years, 3 years, not very long, and it's just moving ahead in light years. Just really, really exciting. It demonstrates the absolute power of the natural aquarium, because by doing that, you create an environment that is instantly stable and healthy, in which fish are going to be able to thrive without this going through all kinds of head scratchers and hair pullers to be able to get a decent tank. Squirt says they seem more interested in the quartz and driftwood. What are you talking about? Oh, I don't know. Based Horse says, you're the reason I got more confident in my fish keeping. 7 months of 20 gallon and 1 month of a better. Well, and I think that's what happens with these tanks. They they do give you confidence because it becomes possible to do things that work, that are successful, that are effective, and that you can duplicate easily over and over every time you try. It's easy to duplicate. Excuse me, I've got my hands on my desk. I'm shaking the desk. Yes, you did score today, Cinnamon. You need to bring me some stuff. You got a lot of really good stuff, and I'm getting I don't have the kind of access. Well, I do, but I need to be able to drive 6 hours a day to do it, to get to some of these club meetings. Adam Tracy, thinking planted some fake things to fill out tank. That you don't need fake. You really don't. That you can get plants that grow out so fast. You'll be absolutely amazed. Yeah, Squirt saying the male did that with one of my pieces of driftwood, right? It's exactly what they do. And then what's really cute is when the babies are, they'll keep them in there until they're free swimming. So you'll see the babies at the mouth of the cave looking out, looking around. They'll kind of dart in and dart back and then come out a little and come back. It's really, really cute. Talking about the crebensis. Nice. Angry Pollock. Hello, hello. Seahawks 3 paid 3 and 0, says Jeff. So I got a field goal. Ah. Well, anyway, looks like Dan is not going to do Sundays anymore. So I didn't want to lose the time slot. So I'm going to do Sundays. Let's see. Lean Merriweather. My Oaxaca puffer's fine. Eating for oh good. Part of the mouth is for taste, so I've been worried over nothing. Yeah, I kind of had that feeling that it really wasn't anything that was going to be problematic. So happy to hear that. Do keep in mind, folks, when you have a fish that has a spot on it, a spot of an infection spot, use Neosporin or any of the other antibacterial ointments and just dab it on that spot. It kills the bacteria instantly and gives it then a chance to get that slime coat covering that wound. That's what happens when there's damage like an injury. The slime coat is scraped away, and bacteria instantly get in there and will infect that. By killing the bacteria, the slime coat's able to cover it, and it'll heal. It's amazing how fast it heals. It's enormously effective. A little dab of Neosporin will do you. You don't need to treat the whole tank for bacteria and kill your entire microfauna. Oh, Squirt's feeding the new fish food. I'll tell you, I love that stuff. That's an absolutely incredible food. The cool flake, the NutriPreda cool flake, just an amazing food. and it's not anything that's ever going to be available commercially, at least not the way Tetra is, for example, the Tetra flakes or any of the other flakes. It's a small it's a small process. It's something that can't be done in vast quantities, vast volumes. It can only be done in small quantities. So we've got a company that manufactures it and then sells it to us for distribution under our name. So it's really very nice. We could even do it ourselves, but don't need to. Somebody else is doing it. Happy to support them. We get it reasonably enough that we can resell it and make it available. And it's just an absolutely amazing product. It is the closest thing to live food without being live food. Can you imagine that? A flake. Can you imagine saying that about a flake? But it really is. I mean, it's processed without baking. It's processed without killing all the fatty acids and all the nutrients. So you get a product that you don't need to refrigerate it. If you're keeping it long term, you definitely should. But it can sit on the shelf for a month or two without deteriorating and be able to feed it out. Basically, what I do is keep it in the fridge and then I take a small container of it out and carry that around. And I'll leave that out for a few days and then refill it. Um, we're doing it right now in 4 ounce. No, I think they're 8 ounce in 8 ounce cups, like 1 pint cups, I think. And we could do it in a larger quantity at a decent price, I think. I'll probably eventually get to that so that people can get, for people who have fish rooms who want to get a larger quantity, we could probably sell it by the pound actually. um, we'll have to work on that and see if we can. It's I wanted to get people used to it and using it, and then kind of build the market from there. And it's coming along. We're selling it. We're selling it more and more. Um, I haven't quite reached the part where I can afford to do the bulk yet, but we're gonna. Better put mine in the fridge. Yeah, if you're feeding once a week, yeah, you need. Yeah, I would feed it a couple of times a week. Feed like two, or like every 3 days, or even every 2 days. Um, the difference is you're feeding a live food in effect, in effect, not in fact, but in effect. So it get processed much better. You don't have the waste that you do with other kinds of things. One of the things that's interesting about it is that you can crumble it, but I find that it's not productive to crumble it. If you leave it the larger flake, just put the whole flake in, it softens instantly, and the fish eat it like it's mashed potatoes or a pancake or something. They just take bites out of it. It's and by doing it that way, you don't have the waste. And they were able to get a larger mouthful too, because they can kind of break it off, and it doesn't stay hard at all. It's really a soft food for the fish. And I find that the fish will eat it much better, more quickly. And by not crumbling it, you're actually not by crumbling it, you're creating more waste because it'll crumble to dust, and the dust won't get picked up. You're feeding microfauna that way, to be sure. But by not crumbling it, leaving the whole flake in, you're sure it's going to all be eaten because they won't let it. They're not going to let it lie there. Didn't know that. My fishies are going to be excited. Oh, yeah. No, no, no. You won't be overfeeding. I feed, actually, in my shop, I feed every day. I'm feeding in the morning. Brenda goes through and feeds everything in the morning. And then I'll for my bigger fish, I'll go through 2 3 times a week and feed like chopped shrimp, whole frozen shrimp with the shell on that I buy raw from the store, from the supermarket, and then I break it up. She blends it and feeds a blended shrimp for the smaller fish. I use it to feed my bigger fish. Like the arowanas are absolutely nuts about it. So I'm able to feed it to the arowana and all the big fish. They do really well on it. I do that. I don't do that every day. I do that 2 3 times a week. Escanado, hi there, Grandpa. It says, hi, Grandpa. The people, Randy says, the people in your channel have the best aquariums. Well, they do. They do, don't they? They absolutely do. Fish turn into little piranhas when they get, yeah, when they get fed. Oh, they love it. It's great. It's a great food. The benefit of feeding more frequently. Now, here's the thing about feeding fish. If you want to get your fish growing, you need to feed them more frequently. Or if you want to get the females egged up and the males ready to produce sperm, they need to eat more frequently. In nature, there will be windows of nutritional opportunity where there will be a flush, just an explosion of food. And that's when the fish really beef up. That's when they spawn. That's when, because there's food available for their babies then as well. It's not just a matter of feeding them up so they can produce eggs. There's got to be enough food available for the babies as well. And in nature, that's when they spawn. And it's usually in the spring when all the nutrients from the winter are kind of all coming together at once. Temperatures are warming up. There's an explosion of microfauna. That's when the fish breed and the babies are just glutted with food right away. They have to eat. They have to eat. Many of them have to eat every hour or two, or they'll die. They don't have any reserves. They eat or they die, and they grow very quickly as a result of that. One of the things about the waru that I find fascinating is that they the female produces a slime that is nutritional, and the babies feed on that. If you don't provide that, it slows down their early growth substantially. I've tried it both ways, and by allowing the babies to feed on the mother's slime coat, they you could see the growth daily, virtually. Um, by feeding them any kind of food, whatever it is, other than that, they grow much more slowly. Who put that up? Did I put that up? Two for the price of one. I guess I put it up Thursday, didn't I? Yeah, we got our sale on midnight tonight. The sale ends midnight tonight. Make sure you grab this. This is an incredible deal. Looking at the scroll, the BOGO, we're doing a BOGO stem pack sale. So you get 24 bunches of stem plants for the cost of 12, which and they're each package contains 12 different species of stem plant. So you're getting a huge variety. You don't get 24 different species. You get 12 species twice. And there may be some oddballs in that, because we carry about 18 species, so you don't always get the same 12 in each package. Sometimes there's something there that's not in other packs, so there is some variety to it. Let's see. Can the water cause you damage if you put your hand in? No, no, not at all. There are fish that can. I mean, I've I've had people working in my shop who are frightened to put their hand in the tank. The arowana, for example, will go after anything that, and you put your hand in the tank, he's going to try to eat it. And they do have teeth. And the one I've got is about a foot long, so he can draw blood. They're not big teeth; they're tiny teeth, but if you have thin skin, he'll draw blood. And there are other fish that can do that, so you got to be somewhat careful. On the other hand, I have koi that if you put your hand in the water, they'll come up and suck on your fingers, clean your hands, I guess. But they don't have teeth to speak of, so it's not at all risky. I don't mind being bitten by fish. It doesn't really it it doesn't frighten me and it doesn't upset me. Although there are big fish I don't want to be bitten by. I mean, I've had big fish. I've had fish 2, 3, 4 foot that I would not want to get bitten by, because some of them do have set of teeth on them that can particularly some of the big cichlids, they can really put a hurting on you. Love your plant packs. Yeah, there are some. Well, she said there's one plant that melts every time I put it in my tank. Um, I wonder which one that is. I think I know. That there are one of the things that happens with plants as your tank gets older, it develops it develops a nutrient a nutrient base that allows certain things to grow that can't grow before that. So that the substrate will actually improve the longer it's there. I have a tank right now, it's 27 years old, and the substrate in it is that old. And I can grow anything in that tank. Whatever I put in there grows. Right now, what I'm growing is a lot of hair grass. No, actually, it's a lot of hair algae, which I'm pulling out. I had too much light on it, and the hair algae just took over. So I've cut the light back. It's in a window, and I had a double strip on it. That's not a deep tank. It's only about 12 inches deep. So I've yanked all that out, and we're putting the higher order plants back in control. I'll also cut back on the light by 50%. 1999, Mr. Jacob have a decently planted 75 with pygmy cories, coleys, and otto cats. Amato shrimp with a good variety of macrofauna. Any recommendations for anything to add? If you could do cories in it, cories will level the microfauna. And dwarf cichlids, a pair of rams would really be nice. You would enjoy that. Um, Almost any of the dwarfs, crabenzas we've been talking about, that's an easy one as well. Um, and then some of the tiny some of the tiny tetras like the embers. Uh, a galaxy rasbora is another one that would do real well, and they're more delicate fish also. Got a lot of options. We should all strive for a 27-year-old tank. I'm going to challenge. There's a young man coming in the store tomorrow to get his tank. The fellow whose family came in on Friday. They'll be back Monday. And I'm going to challenge him to keep that tank for the rest of his life. He's 10 years old. I'll never know, but it'll inspire him, I'm sure. If he has that tank when he's 50 or 60 or 70 or 80, He'll have some stories to tell. Now, let me say something about this because it's really significant. If you have a tank that's more than 5 years old and you put 3 inches of substrate, in 5 years you're going to have 4 to 5 inches of substrate because it builds up, and you're going to have to remove some of it. Now it doesn't build up like mud on the top. It doesn't work that way. The sand's actually going to come up in it. So the sand will rise in that tank and stay on the top, but you get more dirt in the bottom. So what you have to do with that is scrape off an inch or two. I usually use a net. You have to pull all the plants out, take all the hardscape out, scrape off the top inch or two. So you do it every 4 or 5 years. You know, you know, you do it when it reaches a point where your 12-inch tank now has 6 inches of water in it. And it's just become ridiculous. You could leave it and turn it into a bog. I mean, that's what happens to ponds out in the pasture. They become bogs, and eventually they're no longer there as a pond anymore. They're just part of the pasture because they fill in over a period of years. They fill in. It may take 100 years, but it'll fill in. And your tank will do the same thing. So you're going to periodically, every 4 or 5 years or so, go through, scrape out half of it, set up a new tank with that, and then add another half inch or so of sand to the top of it to give it a, a, a kind of a firm foundation. It's not critical, but it does help to do that. Every 5 years, you got to remodel. Yeah, kind of. You don't have to, but you probably are going to want to. And it may be longer than that. I mean, it depends on the biological activity. If you've got low biological activity, it'll hold up a whole lot longer. Mine tend to hold up about 5 years, and then because it's a shallow tank. Now, if I had them in a an 18-inch deep tank, it wouldn't bother me so much. I mean, it could get half full. At that point, I'd want to do something about it. But if you got 3, 4, 5, 6 inches and an 18-inch tank, you're still looking pretty good. So that could go maybe 10 years to the point where you're going to have to do something about it. But then don't throw that away. I mean, that's good material. You want to keep it, set up another tank with it. All right. What time is it? It's about 20 of 8. Is that right? That's right. 20 of 8. We've been here an hour and a half. Just told my fiance that since you said that when you scrape it out, you. Oh, right. Absolutely. Do you need to start a new tank? Yeah, yeah. Actually, you should start a new tank probably every 3 to 6 months. Um, and then your goal should be to have 3 tanks by the end of the year in and year out. And then if you want an ultimate goal, well, that's really a function of finding a place to put a tank. I was talking with a friend yesterday who said, well, I'm looking for a place to put a new tank. I think I'll put one in the bathroom. Bathrooms are a perfect place for a fish tank, particularly if you have a tub. You can convert the tub to a koi pond. I'm just standing at the shower. Well, you can't do that, can you? Wouldn't want to get the soap in the tank. But yeah, the back of a toilet's a perfect place to do on the tank for to put a small tank or a bedding jar or something like that, something small. If you have any kind of counter space, or just put a shelf, build a shelf into the wall and put a tank on the shelf. There are lots of ways to do it. It's wonderful to be able to sit on the throne and meditate on a fish tank. So figure out a way to do that, and you'll be glad you did. Scorch says, I have 5 tanks already. Gotta wait till we move into a forever house and then start new ones. Well, you could do that. You could do that, or you could get a few tanks started to prepare them for the move. I mean, if that move's going to take 5 more years, you're going to need 5 more tanks minimum. To but then do small tanks. They're easy to move. Don't do big tanks until you get moved. Just keep doing little tanks. Little tanks are frankly more fun anyway, unless you get big fish. And big fish are not as much fun typically, for obvious reasons. Just calling me Max. My Sunday was wonderful. Thank you. Just call me Max. Went to a new church today, Salisbury Bible Church, Salisbury Bible Fellowship, I think it's called. I actually have never attended a Bible church. Now, I've attended churches that are biblically founded, but the Bible church is something different. The entire focus is a Bible teaching, so it's not like a charismatic church where the Holy Spirit is the focus. In a Bible church, the focus is Scripture, and missionary Scripture. It's unique, and I found the pastor very interesting. He's a educated man, erudite. He writes out his sermons and reads them, so they're rather carefully constructed, and he has a lot of depth. So that was exciting. Watch your video on Central American cichlids and planted tanks. Purchase Amazons have 5 inches of blasting sand, 1 inch of sand. How long should I wait for the roots? 5 inches of blasting sand and 1 inch of sand. Why in the world did you do that? Good grief. You don't have any nutrients in there. 5 inches of 1 inch. I don't understand your substrate, Rottweiler. Watch my video on Central American cichlids. I think you needed to watch another video. How long should I wait for the roots? I don't understand your question. It's gonna take you 6 months to get enough nutrients in there to be able to grow plants. Yeah, that's why you need a dirt layer. And I never do more than 2 inches of sand. So I don't know where you came up with 5 inches of blasting and 1 inch of sand. That's not anything I've ever done. I don't know how to help you. What I would do, frankly, is drop the water level down to the sand, take about half of that sand out, and put some soil in, then recap it. And then you'll be able to get stuff growing. Dirt 1 out, or you do have 1 inch of dirt. What do you got 6 inches of sand for then? You only need 2. Oh, 3 inches. The story just changed. Very confusing. Angel, I call him, thought I was doing well. What were you doing? 5 tanks. I only got 2 I need to catch up. All right. 1 tank every 3 months. That's the rule. If you do that, then then you can say you don't have MTS. It's under control. You only do 1 tank every 3 months. That's like that's not out of control. 9 tanks firm over 4 foot and only have one set up. Well, we need to get busy. How many plants? Half of the tank. It should be 3/4. At least half of the tank should be planted. Minimum half. Rough wall dirt 1 inch, and then 3 inches total, I guess. They'll right away. Plant it immediately, and plant it heavily immediately. Those roots will find nutrients in a matter of days. Hair roots grow very, very quickly. Plant roots grow quickly. What you'll find is that the plants may not grow. Stem plants will grow. They'll just jump up because they're pulling nutrients out of the water column. But rooted plants like swords, Vallisneria, those kinds of things, you may not see a lot of leaf growth right away because they're growing roots. Cryptocorine's a perfect example. Crypts will spend 6 months growing roots, and you won't see any growth at all. And then all of a sudden, the plant will explode because it's developed that root base that's strong enough to be able to really put all that energy into roots. I mean, into leaves. For the roots to establish, don't worry about it. They will establish in a matter of weeks. It'll happen very quickly. Collecting free tanks for 8 years. Wow, nice. Nice. Thank you, James. Love you too. Worried about digging. Worried about digging. What kind of fish do you have? Got 3 Amazon swords. Scort's talking about adding tanks. Really? Right. Jumped in with both feet. Jack Dempsey. Ooh, I see. Well, they're not going to dig unless they're looking to breed. Fish don't automatically dig unless you get a pair and unless they're trying to build a nest. There are a few, but generally they don't. And if you've got a lot of plants, they can't. The trick is you don't want to have a few plants in a tank with fish that dig pits. You want a lot of plants so they won't be able to dig the pit, or they'll pick a certain spot in the tank to build their nest. If you have a heavily planted, they're not gonna try to build there because it's too much work. They'll find a place that's easier to excavate. I have African cichlids, Malawis, in 135 that's very heavily planted with jungle val, and that'll mess with it. But they're spawning all the time. There are 2 corners that they're able to dig their little pit in to be able to nest, and that's what they do. And those pits get filled back in pretty quickly just by the activity of all the fish in the tank. Plus, there are hundreds of babies in that tank, so you really can do it. Thank you, Bobby. Let's see, 1999. I realized Didn't have to be so expensive and take so long to have all these things set up as soon as it gets warmer. Yeah, you can do it from the great outdoors. What I do recommend, however, is that you get the supplement and add that to your soil because the supplement guarantees that you're going to have nutrients in there permanently. The supplements guarantee nutrients for up to 5 years, after which the tank will be cycling to such a level that the nutrients are replenishing themselves at every level of the cycle. Scored says, I love my fiance. I've been relaying this info about a new tank every few months. He gets this look on his face, laughs, and says, okay, promise it wouldn't go nuts. You need to get him involved. You need to take him into the store or get him excited about something and then let him set up his own tank. And don't help him. Let him do it himself. Give him some guidance if he needs it. Let him watch some videos. Let him do it himself so he gets involved and he gets excited. And then you really got something going because then with two of you, couples do so much better than one person is able to by themselves. The real master fish breeders have husbands and wives that are fully involved in their hobby, and they develop a division of labor, and that makes it so much more effective because things that would otherwise take a whole lot more energy to do, you got two people working on it rather than one. And it just works out really, really well. Duckweed or no duckweed? Boy, you don't have to ask me. I don't like duckweed. Yeah, I've started teaching. Good girl. Good girl. Nearly 1 a.m. here in Scotland. Got to get to bed. Nice to have you, Angel. Yeah, me too. We're gonna put a lid on it here. Nice to be with you all, guys, and we're gonna hang in. We'll still be here Mondays. I've got a Thursday going. I'm going to keep that. Probably won't do Wednesday. I might let that one go. But we'll be back Sundays. Be back next week. Love you all. Let's get. I wonder if I could find that. Might be able to. Let me see. Naresh found an old song and he remastered it, and it's really cool. I got it right here. Let me get it playing and we'll bring it up. Let's see. See if it's going to come up. There we go. All right, let me try to do this real quick. If I can do anything quickly. Share screen. Father Fish Ham, got it. Got it. Let's see what it looks like. Right there. All right, let me get it live. Ain't that? There, right there. Okay. Let's see. Let's get it bigger. And turn.
Swims through the water with a wisdom deep and true, guiding us away from the mainstream to a natural point of view.
Some of the old
His words like music to our ears, soothing every ache and pain. Bring nature back to your tank. Let his message reign. Embrace the beauty of the wild. Let your fish thrive. Father Fish teaches us nature's beauty and grace, leading us to a better way, a peaceful place. His methods may be different, but they're tried and true, overcoming struggles with a natural point of view. Through the rocks and plants, the fish find peace and play. Father Fish's teachings lighting up their day. No more crowded tanks or fake decor, just nature's tender touch. Embracing the balance, loving it so much. Father Fish's legacy, a vision we embrace. Father Fish teaches us nature's beauty and grace, leading us to a better way, a peaceful place. His methods may be different, but they're tried and true, overcoming struggles with a natural point of view. Father Fish teaches us nature's beauty and grace, leading us to a better way, a peaceful place. His methods may be different, but they're tried and true, overcoming struggles with a natural point of view. Father Fish teaches us nature's beauty and grace, leading us to a better way, a peaceful place. His methods may be different, but they're tried and true, overcoming struggles with a natural point of view.
Great to be with you. Love you all. Bye for now.